Hello everybody, I'm Peter Glob, and today I'm making a video on the whole idea of good and evil battles in remnet. And that being, remnet pretty much seems to have a villain no matter which way you look at it. Just like, it's really more which ones are more focused on good things than evil things. Now before we get into this video, I should make a disclaimer. All these images belong to Rooster Teeth and are property of fair use. I don't own any of them. It's just used to make my videos a bit better. Let's get on with this. Now, the main four ones I feel like could really give a great example for this, and probably the easiest ones for me at least to represent how who basically has everyone a villain. It's just that some are more obvious, are better to be counted as villains, while the other ones aren't. And these are Aspen, Ironwood, Wise, and Ruby. Now, let's start with Aspen, because I'm pretty sure everybody had an idea of Aspen being a villain at least a couple of times. And that reason being is because it was stated in the song Divide. Again, not saying that songs are canon, but considering how very similar and very well they fit in the Ruby story, let's say I'll be calling them canon, even if they're not. So in that song, it was basically stated by Salem that Aspen is basically the reason why so many people die. I mean, if these people didn't went to battle Aspen, went to battle her, they would all be alive. None of them would be that. Sure, I mean, there might be a couple of casualties, but consider the fact that Salem doesn't have anything in power to make sure that they don't die when she goes after Aspen, I think it's pretty safe to say that all of those she cannot really have any more remorse. Also, it was said by Hazel that a lot of people, their families, have their kids go into being huntsmen and they die on training missions pretty much. Remind you, this is training missions. Also, the backstory was of Hazel and why he's evil was pretty fast and pretty easily to explain, and pretty much quite easily to convince Oscar that Hazel is just being way over the top. So it's quite questionable if Aspen even is telling the truth. I mean, as far as we know, Aspen could just actually be more involved with her death. Like, if she has the same semblance as Hazel, he said that she needs to beat up those. She needs to fight those Grim. Ham and the other group team with her going to stop whatever thing it was. I mean, it's not a case of hurt anything that Aspen said to the story. He just assumed that that he tell the kid the truth, which is pretty goddamn obvious. So basically, as far as we know, Aspen is the reason why everyone dies in remnet because of the battle. I mean, Grim are basically being treated like monsters and killing just things to kill. And that's Salem's army. She cannot be responsible if she cannot really say yes, die, you pathetic buffoon. I mean, seriously, the only thing we got stated from Salem is that she wants to kill Aspen. Everyone out there is going to die because of Aspen. Seriously, Aspen feels more like those characters like General Punk Crown from Star Wars The Clone Wars, the TV show, not the movies. I feel like I should remind people of that. Consider how many times people seem to forget about the Clone Wars cartoon. But anyways, and when General Punk Crown was in the end doing was basically sending clone troopers to attack other clone troopers. So basically, that's what Aspen's doing in a sense. He's sending people who want to protect their families just so they could die. Just so Salem could be defeated and he automatically assumes everything's gonna be good. Because remember, he just sees Salem as a friend, not nothing else. When it comes to Mishra's underbelly of crime, he doesn't care. He just sees Salem as Salem, and as long as when she gets killed, it will be all good. So that's a pretty weird thing to be focusing on. Plus, it's really questioning how Aspen really feels about his immortality. I mean, really think about this. It could possibly mean that Aspen has been living so long that he's honestly sick of it and honestly pretty much not restless to kill it, just to destroy it. It's really quite questioning if you really think about it. Plus, this whole debate if Aspen's gonna take over Oscar's body permanently. So, can we really call Aspen a good guy even though all of the people that die is because of him and Salem really has no direct involvement? She just doesn't feel like, she just doesn't want to be she just can't be responsible because of the Grim Control thing? Now, the next on the list is Ironwood. And considering and this one is pretty easy to explain. He's a control freak. He wants to make every single kingdom weak so they won't be attacking Atlas, even though the other kingdoms seem to already need help just for them to survive. And well, he just is not demonstrating good and calm head and really calm. Seriously, ultimately the whole Penny robot thing was kinda his fault. Seriously, and again, I made a video saying how he's the one to blame for the fall of Beacon, so yeah, I don't think he exactly can be counted as the guy who does nothing wrong. Plus, it's pretty easy to have him be the good guy if he's constantly arguing about the morals against a guy who a lot of people hate, like Jacques Schnee. So it's pretty safe to say like that. And I'm gonna go more in detail why Ironwood is more evil than we give him credit for. Hell, it's quite possibly when in the next volume when Crow and Aspen come to him, he'll basically say that if they even dare to question his decisions, they will be going to a cage for the rest of their lives or something like that. So it's pretty safe to say he's not exactly the best presentation of a good general. And the next two are Weiss and Ruby. Now a lot of people are gonna be disagreeing with these two. Fair enough, I mean they're basically just there to prove the point. But the main reason I picked these two and not someone like Blake and Yank is, for starters, it's a lot easier to find their all evil intentions than the other people. And the fact that a lot of people likewise say she's a great heroine, which is a great example how everyone seems to be evil in remnet. And Ruby because when one character literally defines you as pure pure embodiment of good, it's pretty easy. Let's start with Wise. Now the main reason why I think Wise is evil is because she's basically her father. The only difference is really that, unlike her father who is more cruel to people in hiding and that wants to rule the thing for business, Wise is shown her how she truly feels openly, and it's not that far beyond to assume that she will once, if when she's for control, she would put her weapon to someone and say, if you dare to say a bad thing about it, she'll basically threaten you, something like that. And again, has no one noticed the whole Huntress ruling that Shni name kinda has a big problem? Like, I don't know, how will she be in charge of her company if she's gonna be in Vale battling Grim? That's ultimately the whole thing. I mean, she thinks that what she's doing is the best thing for the company, which is this, exactly. Jacques thinks that what he's doing is the best thing for the company, but a lot of people, but we all are supposed to disagree with him and vote for Wise. But at the end, her whole thing is also terrible because her company is automatically going to go down if she's going to be, again, in Vale fighting Grim. So yeah. Plus, it's pretty egotistical and pretty out of line to say, how dare you think, how dare you? You're not rightful leader of the Schindler company, I am. Yeah, you are a complete buffoon. You're just a guy who is temperamentally in control until the real person comes in. Like, which I am. Seriously, that conversation with her dad, with Jacques and her when after the whole Unpolished can also before Jacques slaps her, can be attributed as those villains who think they are you know what? I'm just gonna compare that scene to the Gotham scene between Sophia Falcone and her father. It's basically like that. I mean, the only difference is we root for Wise and say that's exactly what you need to do, Wise. Bravo! Though, where in that scene we're like, yeah, that's what you do, Falcone. Slap that bitch one more time. So yeah, Wise can also be seen as the same thing as Jacques. The only difference is the fact that she's more into, it's just easier for her to be identified as a heroine and the whole more of a Huntress thing. And now let's cut to Ruby. Poor sweet little Ruby. Has anyone know, I don't know if you people know this, but Grimm are more animals than humans. And they just seem to be more dangerous versions of animals, and they just operate on their instinct. We don't exactly know how all of them work when it comes to Salem. As far as we know, Seekers can be more intelligent, Grim. But if you really come to think about it, that what Ruby is basically planning to do and her entire fucking Silver Eyes thing is to fucking kill animals. You know all those 90s shows that say save the animals and all that and all those? Yeah. Basically what Ruby is implying is that her going around killing a bunch of Grim always is good. Plus it's pretty egotistical of her to just think that Salem is the only real problem automatically, even though she didn't even see her until Amber used her fucking eye thing. Seriously, when it comes to Cinder, I get it. But when it comes to Salem, I literally don't get it. I mean, come on, Ruby. You're not even going to be a little bit curious about Salem and maybe trying to see her part of the story? Plus, I am pretty sure, considering the fact that what she wanted for Tyrion to do to her was just to bring her to Salem and not automatically kill you, so... I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to have a little conversation with Salem or something like that? Automatically, this video is mostly just bringing out how a lot of characters in Ubi can be seen as villains, so I can't really say that I'm going to explore this whole thing. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you people are gonna be saying, what about some other people? Well, let's bring the main cast. What Blake is basically those people that get, it's not exactly as easy to spot it, but it's pretty showing how she doesn't really demonstrate how she basically just finds one person and then at the time she agrees with them, but then when she's a flip-flopper, if I'm more honest. I mean, the only real reason why she didn't flip to Adam is because he cut Yang's arm. Automatically, I can't really see that much of Blake because, again, a lot of people seem to... Because it's kind of hard to say specifically. We can just assume. Plus, we exactly know how she was in her backstory, a flashback to see how she was when she was a member of the White Thing, so it's kind of hard to say. Then we get Yang, and she pretty much thinks about how her emotions are basically the only thing that really matter. I mean, again, it's kind of hard to say for everybody else, but these four heroes in particularly are the easiest ones to spot. Anyone else, I'm pretty sure I would eventually be able to find a thing, but automatically, for now, I can't really find that many good cases for everybody else. Now, I know Ruby's never going to be developing these guys as villains, well, except maybe Ironwood, but again, it's just my theory, and really spots for me how a lot of people are evil in Ruby, in some ways. No, anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And that's it. I'd wait to see all of you people next time. Bye. Peter. Oh, hi, Wilhelmina. Hi. This is gonna be. I need to speak to you about my presidential campaign. Alright.